Welcome back to Legends Never Die. Over the past few days, we've received the somber news of the passing of several extraordinary individuals. In today's episode, we pay tribute to their remarkable lives and lasting legacies. We'll also take a moment to reflect on the stars we've recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these incredible talents have touched your life in any way, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a gesture of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Nino Tempo, the gifted saxophonist and gentle voice who once captured hearts around the world with the hit Deep Purple, passed away on April 12, 2025, at his home in West Hollywood, California. He was 90 years old. Born Antonino Lo Tempio in Niagara Falls, Nino represented a generation of artists fueled by raw talent and unwavering passion. From his early years, music was at the core of his life. He began performing at the age of 4 and won his first talent competition by 7. As a child star, he graced The Benny Goodman Show and earned high praise from Frank Sinatra, who famously said Nino was the only one who could make the saxophone talk, a testament to his remarkable skill. As a key member of the legendary Wrecking Crew, the behind-the-scenes collective responsible for countless hits in the 60s and 70s, Nino left an undeniable imprint on modern music. His collaboration with his sister, April Stevens, brought him international fame in 1963 with their Grammy-winning duet, Deep Purple, a soulful mix of spoken word and falsetto that became a timeless classic. Though their pop success faded with the British invasion, their musical legacy endured. After April's passing in 2023, Nino stepped back from the spotlight but remained devoted to jazz and studio work. His passing was confirmed by close friend Jim Chaffin, following a long period of declining health due to age-related complications. Nino leaves behind no immediate family, but he is survived by a lifetime of music, memories, and the love of countless fans, friends, and the extended Lo Tempio family. He was more than a musician. He was a symbol of resilience, creativity, and sincerity. Farewell, Nino. Your saxophone will forever echo through the melodies of timeless love. Let me know if you'd like a shorter version or one tailored for video narration.
Me first, and
Joel Krosnick, an extraordinary cellist, dedicated educator, and passionate advocate for contemporary music, passed away on April 16, 2025, at the age of 84. His passing was confirmed by the Juilliard School, the institution with which he shared a profound and lasting connection for more than 50 years. While the exact cause of death was not publicly disclosed, it was known within the music community that he had gradually stepped away from performing due to ongoing health issues in recent years. Born in New Haven, Connecticut, Krosnick was a graduate of Columbia University, where he developed a deep and enduring love for contemporary music. In 1974, he joined the internationally acclaimed Juilliard String Quartet as cellist, a role he held with distinction until 2016. During his tenure, he toured extensively across North America, Europe, Asia, and Australia, and recorded a vast array of masterworks for leading classical music labels.
Me first.
Krosnick also enjoyed a celebrated collaboration with pianist Gilbert Kalish, together producing definitive recordings of complete sonatas by Beethoven, Brahms, and numerous 20th century composers. As an educator, he became a cornerstone of the Juilliard School, teaching cello from 1974 onward and leading the cello department from 1994. In recognition of his lifelong commitment to music and education, he was awarded the Juilliard President's Medal, one of the institution's highest honors. Beyond Juilliard, He inspired generations of musicians through his teaching at renowned festivals and programs, including Aspen, Marlborough, Kneisel Hall, and the Perlman Music Program. Joel Krosnick's life was defined not only by his exceptional artistry, but by his integrity, passion, and devotion to the craft of music. Though he is no longer with us, the music he brought into the world and the countless students he guided ensure that his spirit will continue to resonate deeply in the hearts of music lovers for generations to come.
Shields goes up on the...
You drinking juice? You look 21 years young.
Wink Martindale has passed away at the age of 91. A family spokesperson confirmed that he died peacefully on April 15, 2025, at his home in Rancho Mirage, California, surrounded by his beloved wife of 49 years, Sandra Martindale, and close family members. His passing marks the close of a golden chapter in entertainment history, leaving behind a legacy deeply woven into the fabric of American pop culture. Born in Jackson, Tennessee in 1933, Wink began his broadcasting career at just 17 as a radio DJ. He played a key role in music history when he arranged Elvis Presley's very first radio interview in 1954, standing witness to the dawn of rock and roll. Martindale later became a household name through iconic game shows such as Tic-Tac-Doe, Gambit, High Rollers, and Headline Chasers, winning over audiences with his signature voice, charisma, and warmth. Even as he faced health challenges in later years, his energy and love for the craft never wavered. He remained active in the public eye, appearing in documentaries, commercials, and TV specials, while also dedicating time to charitable causes, most notably St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and telethons for children with cerebral palsy. Wink Martindale was more than a game show host. He was a storyteller, a bridge between generations, and a source of joy for millions. As we say goodbye, we honor a man who not only brought smiles to countless faces, but helped define an entire genre with grace, dignity, and a genuine love for people. Though his voice has quieted, his legacy will continue to shine on screens and in hearts for generations to come. Dick Dameron, a towering figure in Canadian country music, passed away on March 29, 2025, in Alberta, at the age of 91. His family confirmed the news in a heartfelt statement, sharing that he left this world with the same quiet grace and resilient spirit that had defined both his life and career. While the cause of death was not disclosed, tributes quickly poured in from fans around the globe, many hailing him as one of the greatest to ever pick up a guitar. Born in Alberta, Dameron's path to stardom was anything but typical. Before launching his music career in 1959, he worked as a rodeo rider and oil field laborer, embodying the rugged spirit that would later define his sound. He began as a rockabilly performer, but soon transitioned to traditional country music, making his mark with a long list of hits, including Countryfied, Rise and Shine, On the Road, and Susan Flowers, all reaching number one on the Canadian country charts. Between 1970 and 1991, Dameron placed 38 songs on the RPM country charts, with 14 of those breaking into the top 10. Beyond his work as a performer, he was a prolific and deeply respected songwriter, with compositions recorded by legends like Charlie Pride, George Hamilton IV, Carol Baker, and Terry Carris. Throughout the 1980s, Dameron received numerous accolades from the Canadian Country Music Association, and in recognition of his immense contributions to the genre, he was inducted into the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame in 1994, followed by the International Country Music Hall of Fame in 2001. Dick Dameron wasn't just a musician, he was the soul of a generation known for his bold outlaw spirit and the honest, heartfelt stories he told through song. His music reflected everyday life with authenticity and grit, resonating with fans across decades. Though he may be gone, his voice lives on in every melody, every lyric, and every heart touched by his songs. His legacy, like a timeless tune, will never fade.
All right, see what you got. Come on, Clem.
I hope this is unplugged now. Which one should I?
Clem Burke, the electrifying drummer whose fierce style and unwavering energy drove Blondie through decades of musical transformation, passed away on April 6, 2025, at the age of 70. Following a private battle with cancer, more than just a percussionist, Clem was the heartbeat of a generation, infusing every performance with power, precision, and undeniable soul. Known for his thunderous drumming and unmistakable flair, Burke was instrumental in shaping Blondie's distinctive sound. From Heart of Glass to Call Me an Atomic, it was his dynamic rhythm that gave the band's genre-defying music its pulse. Anchoring Debbie Harry's vocals and Chris Stein's guitar work with a fire all his own. Raised in Bayonne, New Jersey, Burke drew inspiration from the British rock legends he admired, the Beatles, The Who, and the Kinks, channeling their influence into a style that was both technically masterful and emotionally resonant. In 1975, he joined Blondie after responding to a quirky ad seeking a freak energy drummer. What followed was a meteoric rise from the gritty clubs of New York City to international stardom. Even after Blondie's initial breakup in 1982, Burke never missed a beat. He remained an in-demand collaborator, working with musical icons such as Bob Dylan, Joan Jett, Iggy Pop, and the Ramones. His drumming, always unmistakable, always alive. Beyond the stage, Burke explored the science of his craft. In 2008, he co-founded the Clem Burke Drumming Project, a groundbreaking study into the physical demands of rock drumming, offering proof of what fans had long known. Playing like Clem Burke was not for the faint of heart. Respected for his talent, but loved for his humility, generosity, and quiet strength, Clem Burke leaves behind more than a legacy of great music. He leaves behind the joy, passion, and soul that lived in every beat he played. His bandmates, friends, and fans around the world will remember not just the rhythms, but the spirit behind them.
Getting it off the air on time and all that. But it really is more fun to know.
Don Misker, a true icon of American live television, passed away on April 11, 2025, in Los Angeles at the age of 85. The news was confirmed by his longtime associate and reporter, Annette Wolfe. While the cause of death was not disclosed, Misker had gradually stepped away from the spotlight in recent years, concluding a career that spanned more than 5 decades and helped shape the landscape of modern broadcast television. Born in South Texas, Misker discovered his passion for television while studying at the University of Texas at Austin. From humble beginnings at the university's public broadcast station, he rose to become one of the most visionary directors and producers in the industry, crafting some of the most unforgettable televised events of our time. His remarkable career included directing and producing 6 Super Bowl halftime shows, the opening ceremonies of both the 1996 Summer and 2002 Winter Olympics, and President Barack Obama's 2009 inaugural celebration. He was also the creative force behind countless Kennedy Center honors, as well as multiple Emmy, Tony, and Oscar telecasts. Don Misker's legacy is inseparable from television history. He brought the world such iconic moments as Michael Jackson's first moonwalk during Motown 25 and Prince's electrifying Purple Rain performance in the rain at the 2007 Super Bowl. He worked with entertainment legends including Barbra Streisand, Bruce Springsteen, Paul McCartney, and Beyoncé, transforming live broadcasts into cultural milestones. Misher wasn't just a director, he was a master storyteller who orchestrated emotion and captured the human spirit, bridging millions through the power of live television. His work didn't simply entertain, it connected people, stirred hearts, and shaped cultural memory. With 15 Emmy Awards, 10 Directors Guild of America honors, and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Don Misher leaves behind a legacy that is both towering and timeless, a living symphony of creativity, precision, and soul that will resonate through the history of television for generations to come.
Our Veterans Day show.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Real strength comes from within. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has long been celebrated as the embodiment of strength, physically imposing, endlessly charismatic, and relentlessly driven. From dominating professional wrestling to conquering Hollywood and building a thriving business empire, Johnson has become a global icon of success. But beyond the spotlight lies a deeper, more human story, one of resilience, vulnerability, and inner strength. In recent years, Johnson has courageously opened up about his personal struggles, offering a rare glimpse into the emotional challenges that have shaped his journey. Through candid reflections shared on podcasts and social media, he's spoken openly about battles with depression, loss, public scrutiny, and the immense pressure that comes with being seen as unbreakable. One of his earliest encounters with mental health came after a devastating shoulder injury ended his dreams of playing professional football. "I didn't know what mental health was. I didn't know what depression was. I just knew I didn't want to be there," he recalled. Another difficult chapter followed his divorce from his first wife, Dani Garcia. This time, recognizing the signs, he leaned on his support network, but the weight remained heavy. "As men, we didn't talk about it. We just kept our heads down and worked through it. Not healthy, but it's all we knew," Johnson said. His openness has struck a powerful chord, especially among men, sparking much-needed conversations around emotional well-being and the importance of asking for help. "Fatherhood," he says, "has been a guiding light. The saving grace for me has really been my daughters," he shared. "You look at them and realize, this is what it's all about." Johnson's life story is steeped in both hardship and hope. He grew up in a financially unstable household, witnessing the toll that struggle can take on a family. There were times when eviction loomed, when his family didn't know where they would sleep. Those early experiences planted the seeds of empathy and ignited a relentless drive to build a better future. A pivotal moment in his teenage years, involving his mother's emotional crisis, further deepened his sense of compassion and emotional awareness. Rather than letting pain harden him, Johnson transformed it into strength with heart, a quality that would later define not just his public image, but his personal philosophy. Like many in the public eye, he hasn't been immune to controversy. From his much-publicized feud with Vin Diesel to criticism over his alleged on-set behavior during Red One, including lateness and an unusual habit of using water bottles for bathroom breaks, Johnson has faced his share of scrutiny. While he has acknowledged some of these actions, he's also pushed back against exaggerations, attributing them to the intense demands of his shooting schedule. Through it all, he's handled criticism with measured honesty, owning his flaws and seeking growth. Another recent challenge came with an $11 million partnership with the U.S. Army, aimed at boosting recruitment. When the campaign failed to deliver expected results, it raised questions about the use of public funds and the effectiveness of celebrity endorsements. Still, Johnson remained transparent, addressing the issue head-on rather than shying away. Despite these trials, his career continues to soar. He remains one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood, with a lineup of ambitious projects ahead. He's set to star in The Smashing Machine, a biopic about troubled MMA fighter Mark Kerr, and is teaming up with Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio for a film on Hawaii's infamous crime syndicate, The Company. He'll also return as Maui in the live-action remake of Moana, and has another Jumanji installment on the way. But perhaps his most impactful work lies beyond the screen. Johnson uses his platform to uplift, motivate, and advocate. His Instagram is a space not for perfection, but for honest reflections, inspiration, and empathy. He shares personal lessons, mental health awareness, and reminders that even the strongest among us face battles. What resonates most isn't just his blockbuster career, it's his humanity. Johnson doesn't just represent strength, he redefines it. He reminds us that strength includes honesty, emotional resilience, and the willingness to evolve. As he recently put it, "I've worked hard over the years to gain the emotional tools to work through any mental pain that may come to test me." Dwayne Johnson's story is more than one of fame. It's a testament to perseverance, emotional courage, and the power of owning your truth. Through sharing his struggles, he offers something far greater than entertainment: hope, and the reminder that no one is alone in the fight to become stronger, kinder, and more human.
Eindelijk
Start de band van de uitzending van 7:30. Honey!
Loretta Shriver, beloved Dutch TV icon, passes away at 68. Loretta Shriver, the cherished television presenter whose warmth and charisma lit up Dutch screens for decades, has passed away at the age of 68, following a long and courageous battle with colon cancer. Her family confirmed the heartbreaking news to RTL News, leaving a deep void in the hearts of viewers, colleagues, and countless admirers. Born in New York on May 16, 1956, Loretta moved to the Netherlands with her parents as a child and went on to build a remarkable career in broadcasting. She rose to national prominence in 1989 as a trusted news anchor for RTL News, and later won hearts as the radiant co-host of the morning show Coffee Tide. What made Loretta unforgettable was not just her intelligence or professionalism, it was her sincerity, her unmistakable laugh, and the warmth she brought into people's homes. Even in the face of personal challenges, including a burnout in 2008, she returned to the screen with undiminished passion and grace. Since 2021, Loretta had been quietly fighting cancer. Though the illness returned and eventually spread, she faced it with remarkable calm and optimism. "Life is only about today. You have to seize it," she once said. Until her final days, she remained publicly active, determined not to let her illness define her. Beyond her television work, Loretta was a tireless advocate for animals and nature. For over 30 years, she served as a devoted ambassador for the World Wildlife Fund, WWF, using her platform to raise awareness and inspire action. Her passing marks not just the loss of a treasured figure in Dutch media, but the quiet departure of a woman whose heart, humor, and courage touched lives far beyond the screen. Farewell, Loretta. Your smile, your spirit, and your kindness will never be forgotten. Andy Peebles, beloved voice of British radio, dies at 76. Andy Peebles was a man whose life was deeply intertwined with music, a lifelong passion that shaped a significant chapter in British broadcasting. From his early days, spinning records in nightclubs across Bournemouth and Manchester, to becoming one of the most recognizable voices on BBC Radio 1, Peebles was far more than a DJ. He was a masterful storyteller. With a smooth voice, impeccable taste, and an encyclopedic knowledge of soul and rock, he brought music to life for millions. His broadcasting career began in earnest at BBC Radio Manchester in 1973, before he became one of the founding voices of Piccadilly Radio. There, he launched Soul Train, a legendary show that would define much of his remarkable 40-year journey on the airwaves. In 1978, Peebles joined BBC Radio 1, where he left an enduring legacy. He hosted evening shows, weekend specials covering both music and sport, and frequently appeared on Top of the Pops. His calm, insightful style earned him deep respect from peers and listeners alike. One of the most poignant moments of his career came on December 6, 1980, when he conducted a 3-hour interview with John Lennon and Yoko Ono, just 2 days before Lennon's tragic death. The conversation offered rare, reflective glimpses into Lennon's thoughts and life, and it remains a lasting testament to Peebles' ability to create deeply human and meaningful connections on air. Andy Peebles passed away on March 22, 2025, at the age of 76. Though he is no longer with us, his voice, his stories, and the music he so lovingly shared will continue to resonate, like a familiar refrain from a golden age of radio that he helped define. Michelle Trachtenberg, beloved actress, passes away at 39, Slayer and Gossip Girl, has passed away at the age of 39. She was found unresponsive in her Manhattan apartment in February 2025. While initial reports were unclear, the New York City medical examiner later confirmed that her death was due to complications from diabetes following a recent liver transplant. This marks the end of a long and private struggle with health challenges that few were aware of. Born in New York City in 1985, Michelle began her acting career at just 3 years old, quickly establishing herself as a talented young star. She captured audiences' hearts at age 10 with her role in Harriet the Spy, and went on to deliver memorable performances as Dawn Summers in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and the unforgettable Georgina Sparks in Gossip Girl. Her work resonated deeply with viewers, blending charm, intensity, and wit with effortless grace. Off-screen, Michelle faced personal struggles with quiet resilience, including her battle with chronic illness. She was open about her experiences navigating the pressures of fame, the industry's challenges, and incidents of inappropriate behavior, particularly during her time on the Buffy set. Through it all, she carried herself with strength and dignity, never seeking sympathy, but instead focusing on evolving as an actress and expressing her truth through her work. Tributes from co-stars and fans poured in following her passing. Blake Lively remembered Michelle as electric, while Sarah Michelle Gellar shared a tearful farewell, quoting, "The hardest thing in this world is to live in it. I will be brave. I will live for you." Michelle Trachtenberg was more than just a star. She was a force of spirit. Her light will continue to shine through the unforgettable roles she brought to life and the stories she shared with the world.
Todo está lleno de bote en bote esto. Cada año va cambiando y va.
Pilar del Rey, acclaimed actress, passes away at 95. Pilar del Rey's remarkable 4-decade-long career brought to American screens a series of roles brimming with depth, authenticity, and heartfelt emotion. Known for her portrayals of strong, compassionate Latin women, her cinematic presence and versatility allowed her to leave an indelible mark across both film and television. From the iconic 1956 film Giant to numerous popular TV series, Pilar steadily built a legacy that spanned generations. In George Stevens' Oscar-nominated epic Giant, Pilar played Mrs. Orion, a Mexican mother caring for her ailing infant. In a powerful moment of the film, her character is gently aided by Elizabeth Taylor's Leslie Benedict, despite the racial prejudices of the time. Pilar's performance stood out for its sincerity and emotional weight, making a quiet yet powerful impact that resonated deeply with audiences. Beyond her film career, Pilar became a familiar face on television, starring in well-known series like Sea Hunt, Daniel Boone, Family Affair, Mannix, Police Story, The Wild Wild West, and Heart to Heart. In 1995, she was honored at the inaugural Astra SAG Latino-Hispanic Heritage Celebration, recognizing her enduring contributions to the entertainment industry. Pilar del Rey passed away from natural causes on February 23, 2025, in Los Angeles at the age of 95. She is survived by 3 beloved nephews, whom she raised as her own sons. In a touching tribute, her nephew David Bua shared, "Pilar will forever be remembered for her generosity and love. She was Auntie Mom, the most wonderful aunt anyone could have. Her legacy will live on like a tender melody, forever cherished in the hearts of those who value the beauty of her spirit and the unforgettable characters she brought to life."
Her name, what? You gotta be a fat motherfucker to pay that.
Ken Flores, a talented stand-up comedian and co-creator of the Latin XL comedy show, tragically passed away at the age of 28, leaving the comedy world in shock and mourning. He was found unresponsive at his home in Los Angeles on the afternoon of January 28, 2025. While the official cause of death has not been confirmed, sources suggest he may have suffered a cardiac arrest. His passing came during his Butterfly Effect tour, a significant milestone in the career he had worked so hard to build. Born in Chicago, Ken's passion for performance ignited early. At just 15, he began creating YouTube videos, and his love for comedy quickly led him to open mics and live stages, where his natural wit and charisma garnered him a loyal following. Audiences not only adored Ken for his humor, but also connected with his warmth, humility, and proud representation of the Latin community. Through Latin XL, he helped create a platform for Latino comedians to shine, offering both a voice and a stage in an industry where such opportunities were scarce. Behind every joke was quiet perseverance. Ken faced health struggles, industry challenges, and the pressures of rising fame. Yet through it all, he remained a source of positivity, bringing joy to thousands from intimate showcases to sold-out shows across the country. Family, friends, and fellow comedians, including Gabriel Iglesias, King Bach, and Sarah Silverman, have paid heartfelt tributes to him. Ken was remembered as a bright light, a gentle giant with a generous heart. His passing is an enormous loss to the world of comedy, but the laughter he shared will echo for years to come. Farewell, Ken. You made the world laugh, and that is no small legacy. Christopher Fifield, conductor, scholar, and a quiet giant of European classical music, passed away on January 19, 2025, at the age of 79, after a period of living with dementia. His death marks the end of a distinguished career that left a profound legacy, not only in performance, but also in the research and revival of 19th century music. Born in the United Kingdom, Fifield studied at the University of Manchester before furthering his training at the Musikhochschule in Cologne. He began his career at Cape Town Opera and went on to hold esteemed positions, including Director of Music at University College London and Chorus Master of the Chelsea Opera Group. For 12 seasons, he was with Glen Dorn and served as music director of the Lambeth Orchestra in South London for 4 decades, from 1982 to 2022. During this time, he breathed new life into forgotten scores and inspired countless generations of young musicians. Fifield was renowned for conducting world premiere recordings of works by overlooked composers such as Frederick Cliff Zaver, Philip Jarvanka, Richard Frank, and Andreas Howland. His releases with the Swedish label Sterling were highly praised for their scholarly rigor and deep respect for musical history. As a writer and musicologist, he authored acclaimed biographies of Max Bruch and Hans Richter, contributed to the Oxford Companion to Music and Music Web International, and offered fresh insights through his academic publications. Christopher Fifield was more than a conductor. He was a guardian of forgotten soundscapes and a bridge between musical eras. His life was a dedication to the quiet beauty of art, marked by depth and grace. A memorial service was held at Beckenham Crematorium on February 25th, a fitting farewell to a man who devoted his life to the timeless treasures of music.
The struggles to make the world a better.
Peter Yarrow, the beloved musician and activist, passed away peacefully at the age of 86. On January 7, 2025, surrounded by his family at his home in New York City. He had been battling bladder cancer for the past 4 years. Known for his music, activism, and steadfast belief in the transformative power of song, Yarrow became a cherished figure in American culture. Born in 1938 to Ukrainian Jewish immigrants, Yarrow rose to prominence during the folk revival of the 1960s, using his music not only to entertain but also to inspire social change. As part of the iconic trio Peter, Paul, and Mary, alongside Mary Travers and Noel Paul Stuckey, Yarrow's harmonies became the soundtrack for a generation advocating for civil rights, peace, and social justice. From performing Blowing in the Wind at the March on Washington to delivering poignant ballads, their music was both hopeful and defiant. Yarrow's legacy, however, was also marked by personal controversy. In 1970, he was convicted of indecent exposure to a minor, a dark chapter that resurfaced in later years, particularly after President Jimmy Carter's controversial pardon. Yarrow publicly expressed deep remorse for the incident, but it continued to cast a shadow over his legacy, even as he remained active in both music and social activism. Until the end of his life, Yarrow never wavered in his belief in the power of music to bring about positive change. Whether performing with his daughter Bethany or supporting causes through his nonprofit, Operation Respect, he was committed to creating a kinder, more compassionate world. Though his voice is now silent, the songs, ideals, and dreams he championed will continue to resonate for generations to come.
One of my favorite new songs, Run It. He's 16 years old. Chris Brown is here.
Ellen DeGeneres, a trailblazer who transformed humor into a healing force and laughter into a lasting legacy, passed away after a lifetime of inspiring moments, from her humble beginnings in Louisiana to becoming a global entertainment icon. Ellen's journey was one of courage, reinvention, and resilience. Whether you remember her early stand-up, her unforgettable sitcom, or her years as a talk show host, spreading joy and kindness, we invite you to share your reflections. What moment from Ellen's career inspired you the most? Your voice is part of this tribute. Born on January 26, 1958, in Metairie, Louisiana, Ellen Lee DeGeneres grew up in a modest household where humor became her shield and her gift. From a young age, Ellen demonstrated an incredible ability to make people laugh, with a gift that was rooted in wit and an intuitive understanding of human emotion. Her early life, marked by personal transitions and modest means, shaped her resilience and infused her comedy with a sense of relatability and warmth. Before finding her true calling in entertainment, Ellen tried various jobs, from clerical work to retail, but none of these fulfilled her desire to connect with others. Eventually, she began performing stand-up comedy at local clubs, where her natural wit and charisma quickly garnered a devoted following. Her observational humor and effortless charm set the stage for her rise to national fame. Appearances on talk shows like The Tonight Show introduced her to a broader audience and earned her critical acclaim. In 1994, Ellen starred in her own sitcom, Ellen, which gained popularity for its humor and everyday charm. However, in 1997, the show took a groundbreaking turn when Ellen publicly came out. both on the show and in real life. This courageous move sparked a nationwide conversation about identity and acceptance. While the show was eventually canceled, Ellen's bravery left an indelible mark, signaling a shift in cultural norms. After a brief hiatus, Ellen returned stronger than ever in 2003 with The Ellen DeGeneres Show, a daytime talk show blending celebrity interviews, comedy, and heartfelt stories. The show became a cultural phenomenon, earning numerous accolades and building a loyal fan base. Ellen's signature blend of warmth, wit, and generosity made the show a daily comfort for millions. Through surprise gifts, reunions, and philanthropic efforts, she used her platform to spread joy and advocate for kindness. Ellen's influence extended beyond television. She voiced Dory in Pixar's Finding Nemo and Finding Dory, bringing humor and vulnerability to the animated character. She also hosted the Academy Awards in 2007 and 2014, using her humor to bring levity to prestigious events and reminding audiences of the power of collective laughter. Behind the scenes, Ellen continued to advocate for causes close to her heart, including animal welfare and disaster relief. Despite her success, Ellen faced personal and professional challenges, including the demands of daily television and the pressures of public scrutiny. These challenges sometimes led to stress and exhaustion, but she openly addressed these struggles, highlighting the importance of mental health, balance, and self-care. Ellen also dealt with physical health issues during her career, occasionally stepping back to recover. She embraced practices like meditation, exercise, and plant-based nutrition to support her well-being, often sharing these practices with her audience. In 2020, The Ellen DeGeneres Show faced allegations regarding its workplace culture, including claims of mistreatment and a toxic environment. The controversy led Ellen to publicly apologize and initiate structural changes. Although some fans turned away, others appreciated her efforts to take accountability and grow. In 2021, Ellen announced the show would end after its 19th season, a decision that was met with mixed reactions. Still, she viewed the conclusion as a natural evolution, a chance to step back and refocus. The final episode aired in 2022, closing a chapter that had shaped daytime television for nearly 2 decades. Since stepping away from her talk show, Ellen has embraced a quieter lifestyle, dedicating more time to family, creative projects, and philanthropic work. She remains active through guest appearances, social media updates, and advocacy, using her platform to support communities in need. Her current focus blends humor with empathy, a testament to her belief in laughter as a bridge toward understanding. Throughout her journey, Ellen DeGeneres has exemplified the power of reinvention. From a stand-up comedian navigating a male-dominated industry to a beloved talk show host championing kindness, she has shown resilience, vulnerability, and an unwavering dedication to connection. Her legacy is one of evolution, courage, and compassion. As she enters this new chapter, Ellen continues to inspire with her message that even in moments of adversity, joy can be found and humor can heal. Her story is a vivid reminder that authenticity, tempered with grace, leaves a lasting impact. Whether on stage or behind the scenes, Ellen DeGeneres remains a beacon of light, reminding us all to be kind to one another and to dance a little too.